Cheers.
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 Matt's like, get this energy drink in me.
You guys are all drinking energy drink?
Energy.
I got liquid death.
You think I'm drinking an energy drink,
Water.
Dave?
Yeah, Kevin's not.
Welcome back to another episode of the Movie Podium, a weekly podcast where we collectively choose a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about it. It's like a book club,
But for movies.
movies.
But for
It's Thursday.
We also came up with a set of questions to
It's
ask
for
ourselves.
movies, Matt.
Like, is this a Podium movie or a top 3 in the year of its respective release?
Easy for you to
I'm
say.
your host, Matt Scott, and I'm actually at Eric's house.
Yes, you are.
Daniel,
Heyo!
Dave,
Hey, Matt.
and Cooking with Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we decided no song.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, that's me.
We'll just play Crick.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, short.
You don't get
very
me.
short version.
Yeah, you have to earn
with-
your way back up to the lyrics.
That's fair. Yeah, let's see if you can earn it back today. And without further ado, we present our next movie.
You probably don't even know my middle name.
That's a trick question. You don't have one.
Helen.
Hit it, Daniel.
This is a weird movie about a weird family. There's a dad who doesn't hang out and is gone a lot. Bye.
Yeah, that was strong.
Bye.
So for those who don't know, Kelly and I share the same birthday in April. And so we both get to pick a movie this month, and I volunteered to go first. So I picked one of my all-time favorites in the Royal Tenenbaums. I fell in love with this movie for many reasons. Wes Anderson is the best at creating a unique world all at the same time while showing these problems of real world issues and still making it unique. So I love the humor. It's not over the top. It's not in your face. It's still quick-witted and it's dry. But I just love the way that he gives the characters a very distinct personality. I got into this movie around the same time I got into J.D. Salinger. So it was a very impressionable time in my life, you know, high school, college, where you read or see something and then you think that way for the next 20 years. And there's a lot of similarities that actually Wes Anderson has admitted to or has given credit to. The Glass family, Salinger's fictional family that he wrote about, had a lot of suicide issues, had the same area where they resided in upstate New York, and all high IQ, high achieving families with the struggle of maintaining a real world presence. And so I hope you guys had fun watching this, and this is why I picked this movie.
It's kind of depressing.
Well said. Yeah.
It is a little depressing. I don't disagree. I said it. Yeah.
No, but I do love the dark humor in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a good
there's
movie. I've seen this one before.
This was Kevin. Daniel, was it your first time or the first time you've seen it in a while?
It was the first time I'd seen it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I couldn't remember if you'd seen it when we were younger. And Kevin, this was the first time for you too, right?
Yes, that is right. I just finished it about an hour ago.
Nice.
Bonar.
Very, very fresh in your mind. All right. You ready for some random ass facts?
Oh, yeah.
Got some good ones on this one. So it got a 7.6 on IMDb.
Is that higher than Thor?
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
I was
It
putting
is
the dog down. I missed it.
Gotcha. It is higher than Thor.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So Gene Hackman mentioned in his interviews that he was somewhat hesitant to accept the part. Wes Anderson tried numerous times to get him to jump on board, and that Gene Wilder was actually the backup. Could you imagine Gene Wilder doing this?
I think that would actually work well. I'm not saying Gene
I
did
don't
a
know.
bad job, but I think it would
Yeah,
work.
I think from the humor standpoint, but maybe not as cruel. Like Gene Hackman is very Gene Hackman in this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why he works. And I say that because apparently Gene Hackman was the reason why he was hesitant was because he had himself had been insensitive to his own family. And so when he read the script, he was thinking, oh shit, like my family's going to watch this and like feel that way. And so he actually asked his family if it was okay. And they said, yeah, go do it. So I thought that was cool.
Yep.
Couple of jeans cutting it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'd also
Right.
like to say that only jeans were considered for that part.
Jean Grey. So there
Bless
actually was a
Thank you.
there was an actual real Tenenbaum family that Wes Anderson hung out with in Texas. And he said that he felt like he was kind of the Eli Cash in that movie, or in the movie. Like he was the one that was always trying to be a Tenenbaum. And there was actually a Margot Tenenbaum.
Adopted as well.
I don't think so. Now there was also
wooden finger.
maybe got it from somewhere. Speaking of fingers, actually, you know
Easy.
the BB. Well,
Daniel, don't.
you know the BB gun scene where Gene Hackman shoots Ben Stiller's character Chaz and betrays him and hits him in the hand, and it gets lodged in there. Mm-hmm. And they actually show a photo of his hand with a BB gun lodged in there. That was actually real,
BB.
a BB, yeah. Not the whole gun.
Jeez.
Right. Well, that was actually a real shot of somebody's hand. That was Andrew Wilson's hand. Andrew Wilson being the brother of Luke and Owen Wilson. And the story goes that Owen actually shot him and got him in the hand, which is kind of funny that ended up being in the movie.
So there are 3 Wilson brothers in this movie, technically.
It's a lot of Wilsons cutting it up.
Lots of Wilsons.
Man, these are good segues. Speaking of him being in the movie, he's also in the movie with another role, and that's when Richie's playing tennis and he has that big failure, or he just has that meltdown. The voices that you hear that are the announcers are Andrew Wilson and Wes Anderson himself. So if you hear a Wilson in there, it's like, oh, that sounds like Luke. Is that Luke or is that Owen? It's actually Andrew Wilson.
I thought you were going to say another Wilson. Andrew Wilson and another Wilson commentary.
Like, did they have? There's
You can't have 4 Wilsons.
That's too many Wilsons.
His name's Russell Wilson. No, we don't talk about Steelers on here. Sorry.
Stop it.
There's got too
We don't
much.
talk about
Sports ball.
washed-up football players anymore.
Well, thank God he's on the wrong team now. I mean, the right team. So there was another big movie that we actually did on our podcast earlier for 2001, and that was Ocean's 11. Multiple guys actually in this movie passed up roles for Ocean 11 to be in this movie, being Owen and Luke Wilson and Danny Glover. And the backstory of that a little bit is Owen and Luke Wilson were really good friends with Wes Anderson growing up. They're the Wilsons and Anderson. Wes Anderson, as a brother, did all the artwork in the movie. And so they're all like friends and made movies. Sounds like a good time, right?
Oh yeah.
Nothing we would do.
We've never, ever done that.
We don't hang out.
Right. Or make movies or talk about movies. None of that. All right. Last fact. And this one's a pretty mind-blowing one, but this is on the artsy side. And if you notice, there's a lot of scene changes. There are actually 300 different scene changes in this movie,
Dear
which
God.
I feel like you would like that one, Eric.
Yeah.
That like every scene, I mean, if you think about it, like the BB gun scene, you see that they're at some house or whatever. You only see that house one time.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like all the
For
scenes.
like 5 seconds.
Yeah, like each scene, there's 300 set pieces.
I do
insane.
love the way like the colors Wes Anderson
Oh, it's
uses
so
in his
beautiful.
movies.
It's so beautiful from that aspect. All right. Anybody have any other ones? I know Kevin didn't have time for research.
Yeah, I'm on scraps.
I'm
right
going to
now.
just have you watch movies right before the movie.
Kevin's still here.
He's got his browser like tiny, so Kevin's cropped off the screen.
All right. First question we've got. Favorite thing about the movie?
Can I go first? Because Matt already
Yeah.
said a couple.
Please.
That like
I'll go last, anyway.
Richie throwing the tennis match is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Just the way he just hucks, like, just smacks the ball up into the stands. He takes his shoes and socks off. The way he serves, he just underhands it and throws the racket. It's just that scene's amazing. And then Eli hiding in the closet. He just appears out of here's his name called. He just pops out in his underwear.
Oh, that reminds me of something. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. I love this.
I'm going to do one more. I'm trying to just steal all your guys's.
What the hell, Dave?
When Henry falls in the hole and Ethelene doesn't notice.
That scene is so great because he gets back up and it's like
nothing happened.
Yeah, that's like
he's just like a little speck of dust on his shoulder. He
just takes it off and then they just continue on like nothing happened.
That's like the one physical comedy scene. Like that part is so good.
Oh, there was the doctor sliding down the steps after being pushed down.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's true.
Just like a fucking surfboard going across water. Just down going down the steps.
That's a good one. Oh. Kevin, what was your favorite part?
Actually, originally it was going to be the match throwing, but at the very end, I'm like, holy shit, it's the one I laughed at the most. And it was early in the beginning, Royal comes across a tombstone and he goes, that's really impressive. I hope that's mine.
Yep.
I wish that was mine. And then at the very end, he has some really epic thing of him, like he died saving his family in a shipwreck.
Yeah.
That's on his tombstone.
Yeah, I love
that's my favorite thing. Actually, in the middle of the movie, he even says, I have written what I want on my tombstone. Can you proofread it for me?
Yeah.
So it's actually brought up multiple times in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's definitely a fascination with death there, for sure. Yeah. That's great. I also
There's a fascination with death through the whole movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Visually, I think this movie is beautiful. I think it's like Wes Anderson has a very distinct directing style, and it's gorgeous. So I think this movie is just visually stunning.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a picture boner for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that because I had the same thing as Daniel.
A boner.
A picture boner. I had a big picture boner for this movie, and just the way that Anderson, like Dave said, treats color, and the framing is so weird sometimes. Like he does this thing where he puts the subject like in front of a flat background, and then he uses color and light to add dimension.
It's just the perfect contrast of colors, like doing something like bright over like a pale neutral background. Like it's like the Ben Stiller and his kids constantly in the red, and then they're just always behind like a neutral background. Like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's funny you talk about them wearing red. They actually asked Wes Anderson about that, and he said that the reason why they're wearing red is because Chaz wanted them to wear the most bright, noticing color because he was so worried about danger.
Yeah.
This paranoia.
I mean, that makes sense.
Right. And so it's funny that we talk about that. Absolutely makes sense. Yeah.
Did you guys notice at the funeral, they're wearing the exact same track suits, but they're black?
Yes. They're always wearing the same.
Isn't that great? His attention to detail is just another level.
Beth actually pointed that out, and she just started busting out laughing. So they're wearing the same tracksuits, but they're black.
Yeah, awesome. So my favorite thing, I think, is kind of changed since when I first watched this. I think now that I'm older with kids, you kind of peel this movie back, and it's about a dad reconciling his past life and saving them and his family, all the issues that he's created, and how he actually kind of saves them from that. Like, I love how as it progresses, you understand how complicated this movie is and how Hackman goes from wanting to move in for selfish reasons, right? Like, he's getting kicked out of his hotel room. He's not trying to build his family back. He's as sleazy as he was 20 years ago. But as the movie progresses, he like takes his grandsons out gambling, throwing dice in the street,
water balloons at random cars.
Yeah, like shit like you'd love to do with your grandpa, right? Like things that like he starts to get what this thing about family that he never had, 20, 30 years ago with his kids. And now he's realizing how important that is. And even though ironically he's saying he's dying, it's like this is a way to save the rest of his family from dying. And so I think my favorite thing about it is just the way that Wes Anderson's able to tell a basic story about a dad saving his family and using all these colors, and the way he does it is so beautiful. So it's kind of the same, but I just like the story kind of goes along with that.
Oh, yeah.
Beauty.
Yeah.
It's totally beautiful, dude.
When John get here?
I thought he wasn't going to be on tonight.
I heard him.
Speaking of,
He's up there.
he's up there.
All right, next question. Least favorite part about the movie? So I'll just finish my thought and say my least favorite thing is the beginning of the movie and how Gene Hackman selfishly tries to move in because he was getting kicked out and not because he was a good dad, that he was a shitty dad. And I'm sure we all have similar thoughts on that. And so I think it sucks that his family had to go through that. And obviously that's my least favorite thing.
He was faking cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of shitty.
Yeah. So that's my least favorite thing is that is his character is some of the best and some of the worst at the same time. And I think that's a good thing, but in this case, that would be my least favorite. Eric, why don't you go next?
My least favorite thing was the fact that Buckley got ran over.
Oh, that was up there for sure.
Yeah, that's on.
I knew that. Yeah, that sucks. That was a bummer.
It didn't need to happen.
No, it kind of doesn't need to happen.
Nope.
I kind of agree with that.
Buckley got fridged.
Yeah, he did.
They didn't need to kill the dog.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it didn't even add
unnecessary.
anything to like. No one seemed to really care.
They just wanted to continue to make the movie depressing, and it worked.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, I agree with that. There was no reason, for sure.
Hey, here's something
Daniel?
dark to laugh at. Now let's see if I can get you to laugh at a dog being killed.
I don't think anybody laughed at that.
You're
I
a
hope not.
goddamn sicko, Dave.
Wes Anderson's the
I
sicko.
hope he didn't laugh. Daniel, what was your least favorite thing?
This movie just didn't grip me at all. Like, I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it compelling. It just never really gripped me as far as the story or anything like that goes. Like,
Yeah.
I watched it and the whole thing was beautiful, but there was just so little to me. Like, I took so little away from it as I watched it. But, like, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen or anything like that. It's not a bad movie, but it just didn't grip me. It wasn't made for me and my sensibilities.
I understand. Sure. And again, I think that's changed since I've seen it now with a kid, or kids. It kind of warped me because I used to like it just because of the high Q crazy family. And then I kind of got away from that, and now it makes a little different sense. But I understand that. It's a movie about the Fergusons.
It's like the complete opposite.
I don't think you guys are that dysfunctional. No. Kevin, what about you?
I had one I think you guys thought would be it, which was the Richie Margot relationship. Which I don't like that, but that's not my least favorite.
Oh wow,
Okay.
It's not.
I'm with Eric on this one, and it's not only that Buckley gets killed, but also there's a scene, they don't show it, but there's this scene of dog fighting,
Yes.
Oh,
and it's like they just don't care about fucking dogs. It's like I was like, that's kind of
Yeah,
cringe.
not cool.
Like I didn't
Not
like that
cool
at all.
at all.
It just didn't need. It didn't need to be in the movie. It could have just not done that, and it
Be
would,
nice to
it would
dogs.
have been better.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't argue that.
They could have been betting on anything.
Yeah.
Not dog fighting.
People cross the road and getting hit. I mean, that'd been a fun way to bet on.
They could have just been rolling dice in the alley
they
with
do
some
that?
crackhead. I don't know.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of funny.
Dave, what about you?
Chas,
Chaz,
whatever, however you say his freaking name. I don't like him.
He's
I
definitely
didn't
the
like
least
his
favorite
character.
Tenenbaum.
He's
I get it.
He's the negative character throughout the entire movie, and he just bummed me out on top of the other bumming things in this movie, like dogs dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely my least favorite character. Though I do think his payoff is the best at the end. When he's the one in the ambulance with his dad. That was like the ultimate comeback. Because like he's the one who didn't even want his dad in the house. Like he was the voice of reason when they're all like, "Oh, just let him in." Like it's like the dog who keeps shitting everywhere. It's like, just he's okay. And then the mom lets him in, and then Chad's like, "No, we can't do that." And then
he's already up there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what?
What? Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, I would agree. Chaz is probably my least favorite of those characters. All right, next category. Who won the movie? All right, Eric, who won the movie?
I'm going to piggyback off what we were just talking about. I said Chaz won the movie because his relationship with his dad got turned around before he passed away.
Great answer.
And everyone got depressed.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. I agree with that. What about you guys?
I had Royal one because he regained the connection of all of his family, and I think he passed away knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he smiles as his last
agree.
act. Like he looks up at Chas and smiles and then dies. So he's in a good place when he dies.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's the easy answer. I mean, the name of the movie is the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I definitely think he won the movie. I actually had a different answer just because I wanted to be different because I know that's probably... I like your answer too.
Oh,
Eric.
I'm mad. I want to be different. I like being different.
I do like being different. But I said that Friends won this movie because...
The show?
Friends
Jennifer
made
Aniston
movies
in this?
together. So Wes Anderson and the Wilson brothers, as I mentioned earlier, made Bottle Rocket, which was a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
And then they come back with... Well, Wes Anderson comes back with Rushmore, but then he comes back with these guys after... Yeah, Mount Rushmore. And
it's got all the friends on it.
just wanted
Friends
to
won
say
this
that
movie.
Friends liked making movies together, and then they ended up getting really famous for making small movies. And then this movie is now a very large movie with people like Gene Hackman and Angelica Houston and Danny Glover. And you have these guys who grew up together in the same movie, same production, right? So like having that is just nuts. I mean, it'd be like us having fucking Bill Murray making a movie. Oh wait, he was in that too.
About time you
know what I
mentioned
mean?
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I know. It's weird. We haven't talked to him. He's just got a smaller role. Anyways, anybody else have anything? Dave, you didn't really speak on who won the movie.
I honestly didn't really have an answer for anybody really winning the movie, but your guys' answers are in line with probably what I would have picked. Royal winning. I like Kevin's answer. Royal winning the movie. Having finally reconnected with his family before passing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's Again, that's why I like this movie so much.
Are you trying to put a spell on me?
For me, it's Wes Anderson. Because Wes Anderson got to make a art house movie with really big actors and got a lot of critical acclaim, and for the style of movie it made a lot of money.
Yeah, and he had like I mentioned, he had a high budget for this. Like Bottle Rocket was a movie they made in college. But yeah, I guess that's a good answer too, Daniel. All right, next category. Favorite song moment or score scene. All right, Dan, don't take it.
If it's up here,
Daniel?
there's something crazy happening.
It is the opening scene with Hey Jude playing in the background.
Nice.
I really actually enjoy the fact that it's instrumental for most of it.
Yeah. Yep. So good.
I'm right with Daniel on that. It was a really good rendition of Hey Jude, and I love that song just in general. And that's actually the first thing I wrote down, just period, when I was watching this. Okay, that's going to be my song because I don't think anything can top that.
I mean, it's one of my favorite intros of all time, with Alec Baldwin talking over it too, and just kind of giving you the rundown of the last 20 years in a 5-minute song of Hey Jude.
It was funny. Throughout the movie, I was trying to pinpoint who was narrating that. Cause I'm like, I know that voice. Who the hell is that? Who is that?
Yeah.
And then after the movie, I realized, I looked it up. I'm like, oh, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Eric, what about you?
I had a couple. One thing I think is cool is that I think it's in every movie he has a drum solo.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in every movie Wes Anderson has a drum solo. So that was my first one.
Hurry! Fire alarm! Let's go! Obstacle!
That's cool.
But then next is the Ramones, Judy is a Punk.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that was
Ramones are sick.
Yeah, and I love that you say that because Wes Anderson does such a good job of invoking emotion with his his song choices, and it's so literal, so on the nose. Like Judy is a Punk is
They're talking about Margot. isn't it?
right. Yeah, it's the montage of Margot, which by the way is better than the Superman saving a cat montage. Throwback to another episode of ours, but her like smoking the cigarettes. But yeah, then there's like. The Ruby Tuesday, and it's about somebody you can't be with, or it's about a fictional person, and that's when they're in the tent talking about how they can only be friends. And obviously there's the Elliott Smith moment where, you know.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was, I didn't look it up. I'm like, that's Elliott Smith. I'm sure it is. I didn't recognize the song.
Which Elliott Smith committed suicide a couple years later. He didn't put that song in there for that reason, but I mean, it ended up, you know. So
Elliott Smith wrote depressing music.
Yes, exactly.
I liked some of. I'm not saying that like in a rude way. That's what he did.
You're 100, and look where he put it in the movie, right? So I just think he does such a good job of that.
Where was the drum solo? I can't.
It was when they were doing the fire drill, Chaz and his kids.
Oh, right at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dave, what was yours?
Mine is These Days by Nico. It's the scene where Margot, when she's picking up Richie from the airport.
I've been heartbroken. I don't do too much talk.
Off of the bus.
Yeah. That's probably mine as well, since because I just love that song, and that's a cover of a Jackson Browne song. But my other favorite, if I had to go with something that hasn't been mentioned, is Paul Simon's "Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard," in the scene where he's with his grandsons doing all the shenanigans.
Queen of Corona. Come here. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
That's a great Paul Simon song, and it's funny because Kelly's dad actually plays that song with the boys, and no like knowledge of this movie at all. There's no relation there at all, but it's really weird because I hear him talking about we have a little action figure and he calls him Julio, and then he's like, oh, he's down by the schoolyard, and I'm like, you have no idea what you're referencing, but it's in my head that you're the grandpa showing the kids, and this is weird. So I like that song a lot.
What was really cool in this too is it happened on multiple occasions. There'd be a song playing, you think it would just be something playing in the background of the movie, but it was actually like someone was playing it on a cassette or a record. And so you hear the song with the scene starting, and then the song cuts out by somebody hitting stop on a cassette or picking up a needle on a record. I thought it was kind of cool. That was kind of integrated into the movie that way.
And with that, next category, does this movie get made now? First of all, it's weird that I'm not touching it, but it's kind of nice not having to worry about it.
It's like you have a producer.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of nice. What's the general consensus first? You think so?
Yeah.
Why so? I say no. So why do you say yes, Dan?
Why do I say yes? Because Wes Anderson has clout now. If Wes Anderson wanted to make this movie now, he'd make this movie now.
Yeah, that's fair. I would rebuttal just because I said no, and my reasoning wasn't that. I agree that he could make the movie now with it being him. The problem, though, is at the time they were throwing around money to anything, and they were willing to spend that kind of money. And now you only see big budget movies like comic book movies or big action movies, or you see really cheaply done movies or low budget movies, and they're all indie films. And so like this, again, I think the budget was kind of high for just there's no action scene. I mean, it's a really high budget for what it is.
I mean,
and so I just think it's too
not
unique.
really that high profile of actors either to have said
I
like that
know.
most of the budget went to paying the talent. Like,
Yeah, I don't see that anymore either. I feel like you just get a bunch of no names, you know?
Yeah, but it's still Wes Anderson. He's still making movies. The studios are still giving him money. If this movie hadn't been made, he could make it now. You know, Bill Murray's still going to do it. You know, the Wilsons are probably going to do it. You know, Ben Stiller will probably still do it. Like,
Ben Stiller could play the dad now.
Yeah. That'd be weird. That would suck. Gene Hackman, there's no other person. I'm so glad that Gene Wilder didn't do it just from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see your point.
My point is just like, it's, you know, could an up and coming director do this movie? Probably not. But
No.
Wes Anderson could definitely do this movie still. Like, the studios are still going to give him enough money that he can get this movie made.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Wes Anderson movie in a while. Like, well, I mean, has he made a movie?
I
in a
just
while?
checked.
Yeah,
And the last movie he did was The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar in 2023.
So
Benedict Cumberbatch was in that.
That's
Benedict Cumberbatch is a big pull, man.
Yeah,
it is. But,
Asteroid City was also in 2023.
I mean, he can
So
still
he
get
put out
big
2
name
movies
actors.
last year.
I don't.
The other one might have been like production. I'm not sure. Like he might not have directed or wrote. It,
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah. I think that would be. I think this is a one that you could debate either way. I think is what I would say.
I just put that it could be because dysfunctional family movie that can be made in many different ways, and I think you can still do it with the dry humor, and it might not be as high budget, or it might not click as well, but I think it could be made. I don't think it would be turned down.
Yeah, I think something like it could be made.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think I would say I would lean towards no, just because like. Number one, it's a pretty like even-keeled movie, and it had a high budget. So like if you want a high budget, you probably need like an action.
That's
sort
how
of
I
thing.
view it.
Yeah.
Right.
But then also, it seems like this movie took them a while to make. Like a lot of care went into it, and I don't think that sort of care is valued today.
Yep. Unless you're Quentin Tarantino, right?
Yeah.
I would just counter and say that Wes Anderson is still making movies, still getting his money, and
I just don't know if
still
those are
putting
high
the same
budgets,
care
though.
into
What was the budget?
movies.
I'd like to see what the budget of Asteroid City is, because I think you'd be surprised. Let's see. Just out of curiosity. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, well, I guess inflation. $25 million.
Was Asteroid City?
Yeah, that was the budget for us. Was that I didn't see that. Is that like graphics?
I have no idea.
I didn't
Are
see
there
it.
graphics?
No, it's not like CGI, but it is like very much a Wes Anderson movie from the trailer I saw, because I didn't see it. But the trailer I saw looked very much like a typical Wes Anderson.
What was the budget for
Wes
this
Anderson's a
movie?
goofy looking dude.
Higher.
Yes.
So the budget for this movie was $28 million. So the budget for this was higher than a movie 20 years later. I mean, I would say that, you know, that now that's like 40, that's twice as much. I just don't think you're getting that many high cast, I guess.
Right.
And I just think it's so unique. That's the other thing. And maybe if Wes Anderson makes it, that would be the argument, Daniel.
Yeah.
But I can't just see anybody having 300 different set pieces, having the same color scheme. I just don't think I think it's so unique that only if he were to make it, maybe would be the caveat.
And that's
what you said.
Yeah.
I know.
And that's always how I come at these movies, is like, if this movie wasn't there, would it be able to be made today? Would the filmmaker be able to make it today? All that sort of stuff. And Wes...
Yeah, and there's no, like, out of times, and there's nothing, like... It honestly doesn't really tell you what time it is until you see his gravestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like, because, like, yeah, you kind of understand they're in the 70s at one point with the outfits and like the tennis scenes and how tennis used to be a big deal. But there's no real touching on what time or what year it takes place in. So from that aspect, it's not dated or anything. There's no graphics, no bad CGI, none of that. So like, from that standpoint, you definitely can make it. So I think that's a tough one to debate. Oh, I was about to touch the the question button. All right, next category. Favorite line from the movie. All right, so my favorite line is a line that's not even spoken, and Kevin kind of mentioned this earlier, but it's actually Royal's epitaph, and it's died tragically rescuing his family from the wreckage of a destroyed sinking battleship. I absolutely, it kills me. Like
I died when I saw that.
I laugh, I get teary-eyed, I like all of it, you know? It's a good scene.
That was my hardest laugh in that movie.
So good. Daniel?
For me, it was the one that we just went over. That's the last time you stab me.
That's the last time you put a knife at me. Hit me?
Yeah. It's a good one.
It's the last time you stabbed me.
Eric?
My favorite line was right after the Ramones montage of Margot, and it cuts back to Bill Murray, and he says, "She smokes."
Yeah.
She smokes.
That's what he got out of that. Oh, that whole...
That's all he took out of that.
There's so many good, and there's so many good running bits in this movie, and that's one of them. Dave?
It's whenever Royal and Chas are talking about like trying to go do something together, trying to go see their grandmother's grave. And he mentions that his wife is buried there too. And he goes, "Oh yeah, we'll have to swing by her grave too."
We'll have to swing by her grave too.
And you know what else? And you know what else he says on that? One of my other favorite lines, real quick, that he talks about on that. I hope this isn't Kevin's, but it's when he said, "I'm very sorry for your loss. Your mother was a terribly attractive woman," to the kids.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Your mother was a terribly attractive woman.
Thank you.
Like what? What would say that to the grandkids?
That was my line, Matt.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, it really was. That's why I wanted to say it. But I have some more.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I have Dave has briefly touched on it. It was during the throwing the match, and the announcer goes, "He took his shoes off, and he's missing a sock."
Yeah.
I don't know, Jim. There's obviously something wrong with him. He's taken off his shoes and one of his socks. And
that's me.
And then I had another one with Henry, actually. And it was, "I don't think you're an asshole. I just think you're a son of a bitch."
Yes.
I don't think you're an asshole, Royal. I just think you're kind of a son of a bitch.
That is one of my favorite lines. John used to quote that one all the time.
Whenever Raleigh is Margot's leaving and Raleigh's like, "Do you even love me?" She goes, "I do, kind of."
I like when Royal's like, "But I'm gonna live."
Yeah, after he was like, "Yeah."
I think this is a phrase that we all need to start getting into our vocabulary, and it's "let's shag ass."
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I also liked when they're interviewing Owen Wilson about his book, and he goes on the very bizarre explanation of, "Well, everyone knows Custer died at Little Bighorn. What this book presupposes is maybe he didn't."
Well, everyone knows Custer died at Little Bighorn. What this book presupposes is maybe he didn't.
Like, what? What the hell is he talking about? Any other ones? All right.
No.
Cool. Next category we've got most likely to be the off-screen drunk.
The hack.
I think Bill just got home.
Hannah agrees with me. It's Kevin.
And since I took your line, Kevin, you can go first.
I put Royal because he just does some crazy shit to have fun.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
I said Raleigh St. Clair. That dude just got fucking put to the curb. And gets no explanation.
Yeah.
Just huh?
Oh no,
He's not
that's a good
mescaline,
answer.
baby.
Yeah, the
No, I
mescaline
thought-
line. No, that's Owen
That's
Wilson.
Owen
That's
Wilson.
Owen Wilson. That's
Oh,
Eli. Eli
shit.
was on
My bad.
mescaline.
Yeah, my bad.
Raleigh's Bill Murray's character.
Yeah, my bad.
No, yeah.
Two timing with that Eli Cash character.
You realize
Let's
you
see,
made me a cuckold.
Daniel.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
know.
good line. That's a good line.
Yeah.
Daniel, who was the off-screen junk for you?
I was with Kevin Royal because he's a dick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Same here.
Kevin. You're right. It was Kevin.
Let me crack another one open, shall we?
I had two. One was more literal, is Margot, because you don't see her doing anything on screen. They show that montage. So she, was smoking and probably drinking off screen from what the characters knew.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also said Pagoda because he's dealing with Royal's bullshit.
Yeah.
Pagoda would definitely be that guy.
Yep. Well, Margaret also smoked a 10-year-old pack of cigarettes that she hid.
Did you know where they're from? I actually saw something on it. Oh, I guess, yeah, you wouldn't know because, anyways, they're from.
Bonus fact.
Yeah, they're bonus fact. They're from, they're a discontinued cigarette brand from the 70s in Ireland. Like, of course, Wes Anderson would do something like that. So, Kevin, they are not Pall Malls.
That seems like a very Wes Anderson thing to do.
For sure. And I know you don't smoke Pall Malls. I wanted to get a reaction out of you. You didn't say anything.
Oh, the balls.
I know you don't.
Bev, get me some bomb and catch the bush.
All right, next category, we've got casting our friends. All right, who wants to go first?
I did not have.
I just
any
had a
cast.
couple.
I didn't do
Dave,
it.
go first. All right, Derek. Oh.
I think we can all agree that John would be a perfect casting as Eli Cash.
Yep. Yeah, I almost put him.
I could Chass's narcissism and paranoia really matches Brad's. So I could see Brad playing Chaz.
That's so good. That's so fucking good.
Oh,
Dang it.
yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and then I didn't really I couldn't really pinpoint anybody else. Those were the main two that I saw.
That's good.
Who's the heel? They're Daniel.
Royal?
Royal.
Nola. He stabs him. He helps him with the whole scheme, and then he fucking stabs him.
I wish I would have thought of that.
The Brad one's really good.
I love that he not only does he stab him, but then he gets him in a cab and takes him and patches him up.
Also, the line that I forgot was what does he say? He got the cancer. The way he says that line is like, what? Of course he didn't speak, clear English. Kevin, did you have anybody?
I didn't write it down, but actually, throughout the movie, I have no idea why, but Richie, I thought about John. And I don't really know. It just seemed like his vibe reminded me of John.
It's
100%
the
agree
long,
with this.
lanky build of Luke Wilson. It's a reminder of John.
That's part of it.
We are all aware.
Is that
of
all you had?
Yeah, I didn't get anybody else.
That's all right. So I actually also thought of Richie and John together. I said the same thing. And I said the quiet and chill demeanor, which is kind of what you were saying.
Yeah.
John also used to rock long straight hair with a headband.
Yeah.
And occasionally wore brown suits. Now, this was after the movie, so maybe there's a connection there.
Yeah.
But Yes, I also thought
Took
of
some
John for
style
Luke Wilson.
points from Richie Tannenbaum.
Bowers rule.
Wait, isn't he wearing that in the Bowers Rule video?
Yeah, exactly.
He is wearing a headband.
He's wearing the headband, yeah. I said Kevin was Eli Cash because he was always wanting to be a Tenenbaum, just like Kevin always wanted to be on the podcast, and now he's really good. But I still have a couple good ones. All right, so Gene Hackman is Cody because he would definitely be the one that would lie about getting back into the house as egregious as he's dying after Lakin kicks him out of the house. And if
He would also just keep tabs to know if someone's trying to marry Lakin again.
oh yeah, 100%. And if Cody is Gene Hackman, that makes Pagoda Logan Arnold. Because he's doing all of Cody's dirty work.
And I have seen Logan Arnold attack Cody. He punched him in the face that time.
That's true.
Immediately thought of him as Pagoda being his sidekick there.
Pretty sure
really
Cody
like
has something messed up with his nose because of Logan punching him.
That's all I had, but yeah, that one was killing me. I was like, oh my God.
I really hope Logan watches this.
Yeah, right.
Or listens
I wish.
on his motorcycle.
Yeah, right. Which Pagoda probably drove a motorcycle, let's be honest. All right, next category. Is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members? All right, I'll start with Gene Hackman, our main character. I said yes, partly because of I love this movie, and I think it's like I said before, the most Gene Hackman movie. Now, he's a critically acclaimed actor with some Oscar wins, with The French Connection. Daniel and I did the Superman. He's great as Lex Luthor in that. Mm-hmm. So I can see why people would say no, but I do think this is kind of his swan song. Like, this is the last big movie that he did, and he was able to really, truly be himself.
I said yes.
I want to lean towards no for some reason.
Yeah, I could see both ways for sure.
Yeah,
Daniel?
I'm going to go ahead and drop no's for everyone, just because this movie didn't do it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
yeah, I gotcha.
Like, you know,
I think you couldn't argue Luke Wilson.
No, but I mean, you give me like the facts, and I might change my mind. But like, just like anyone who's done anything, I think all the other stuff
Not
is
Luke
probably
Wilson.
better.
Yeah, other than Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
Look up his stuff. You wouldn't. Yeah.
Blue Streak.
Is he in that?
Yes. Him and Martin Lawrence.
Oh,
And Chris Tucker, right?
No, he's in Rush.
Oh, no, right. You know, he's in Rush where he drives any cars.
Yeah.
Kevin, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I'm and completely with Daniel. No actor or actress stuck out in this movie. I don't think it was a great performance for. They're not bad,
Yeah.
but nothing stood out to where like, oh, this is a fantastic acting job by anybody.
I think,
But nothing
I'm
stuck
surprised
out to
on
where
Luke
it
Wilson.
was a terrible acting job by anybody. But it was just
Sure.
It was a good movie with good acting, but it wasn't spectacular.
To speak to your point, Kevin, I think it like the characters are written in like such a, I don't know, like specific way that like it's hard to gauge like the performance of everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
sure.
of course, if there was a bad performance, it would be noticeable, but like, it's like they're playing characters, but the characters that they're playing speak and like communicate in a way that's like so foreign
Yeah, fictional.
that like fictional and foreign and like just weird that like it doesn't hit like it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing for like a movie I absolutely love is A Mighty Wind.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say anybody in that movie that was their best acting.
I'm guessing
if that makes sense. I love the movie, but it's just not a...
Yeah.
Well, I think what you guys are getting at is that when there's these big ensemble pieces, that nobody sticks out enough to where they're maybe not bad or good. It's just there.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. I actually had it for everyone. And not just because I love this movie, but I think if you go back to their IMDb's, you will see that most of these people or most of these actors or actresses are most themselves, even though it is that fictional world they're in. But also, if you look at all of their IMDb's, you'll see that this is mostly the height of their careers. So like if you had stock in Luke Wilson at this time, you'd have been like, shit, I'm going to be rich.
Yeah.
You know, like Wedding, or was it Old School just came out and this came out and Idiocracy came out. And then if you look now, it's like, what is he? I don't even know if he doesn't even act anymore. Owen Wilson, same thing.
I would definitely put Idiocracy as Luke Wilson's best.
I mean, those are my three favorite.
I just love that movie.
100%. Those are my three favorite Luke Wilson movies. This and those two.
Owen Wilson was in Armageddon, so like that's number one.
Yes, you're right.
No one can no one can argue that.
I mean, I have that. No, actually, for Owen Wilson, I said this, Bottle Rocket, or Wedding Crashers.
Yeah,
and then Ben Stiller also, again, like Zoolander came out. I just thought that most of these guys were at the height of their careers or the peak of their careers during this movie. And so I said yes, because it looked like they were all having a fun time.
I had no's for Ben Stiller and Bill Murray, and then yes for everybody else.
Oh, so I didn't write Bill Murray. I would agree with you 100% on Bill Murray and Danny Glover and Angelica Houston.
Yeah, I didn't put Danny Glover.
I didn't even consider them. I don't think their roles are large enough. But like Gwyneth Paltrow, for me at least, this is my favorite character of hers. But
I'm trying to think of other things that I know her from.
Well, Pepper
Potts.
Pepper Potts, Peppermint Patty.
Wasn't she in Shallow?
You guys did Iron Man.
Yeah.
She is.
Obviously, it stuck with me.
Yeah, we talked about her then. And again, she's another Academy Award-winning actress, but a lot of those are snoozers. And after this movie, I don't think she's really in much huge other than something like Iron Man. And again, she's much more minor in Iron Man than in this. So, all right, last category. And we switched this up because we've already talked about this movie in 2000, or some of us referenced this movie in 2001, but we've already done the year. So we have decided to switch it up this time, and we are going with, does this movie podium on our list for dysfunctional family movies? Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go.
And has a list. All right, Daniel and Dave.
Number 3 is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Nice.
Number 2 is The Simpsons movie.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that.
Good call.
And number 1 is Knives Out.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Very, very good.
Yeah, I really dig
Dave?
that movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna change my list up a little bit because the Simpsons movie is a good one. I'm gonna go Royal Tenenbaum as number 3, Mrs. Doubtfire as number 2, and the Simpsons movie as my number 1.
Very nice.
I've got different ones than pretty much both of you guys.
All right, Kevin.
I actually did put this at number 3, Royal Tenenbaums.
It's very surprising.
And I did enjoy this movie. I'm not going to lie, and it kind of hit home a little bit. I from a very large family. Its parents divorced, and so it touched home a little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 2 is actually Adam's Family Values.
Nice.
Is that the
That's
second
also a
one?
movie.
The sequel? Where the baby?
It is the sequel.
Yeah, when Uncle Fester comes in, and number 1, it's a fantastic movie. American Beauty.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Red Heat.
Such a dysfunctional family.
Eric.
I said I didn't have Miss Doubtfire initially, but that has to go on. So Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't think Incredibles counts.
See, I had Incredibles on mine too.
Okay, then the
I think it
Incredibles.
counts. They're dysfunctional.
It counts.
Yeah, that's okay.
Very dysfunctional.
You had it?
Yeah.
Okay, damn. I thought I was being smart on that one.
Well, smarty pants. Not so smart anymore.
Eric, you're always being smart and beautiful and handsome and kind.
Thank you, Daniel. Shut up, Dave. And then number 1, Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh yeah, good call. Nice.
Yeah.
That movie
I
was
really
so
like
weird.
the Simpsons movie. Yeah.
I do like the Simpsons movie. That's
Simpsons movie is such a good call too.
All right, so
That was difficult.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
was
America's
good
dysfunctional family, baby.
one. Yeah,
25 or 29, 35 seasons, however many seasons they're on now.
I think they're on 36.
Yeah, they got to be pushing 40.
I think they came out
The
88
Simpsons
or
could
89.
run for president.
That's how old they are.
Yeah.
Waka waka. All right,
That's
three
not
are
The Simpsons.
my 3 are The Incredibles because I also thought that way. My number 2 is Little Miss Sunshine,
Yeah.
and my number 1 is obviously this Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh yeah.
I've actually never seen Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, it's so good. Steve Carell.
It's been
definitely a
told good
fucked up
things.
family.
I just haven't watched it.
It's a really good movie.
It's
Another
definitely-
very sad one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely in the same sort of vein as this movie, like
It is.
the feeling that you get,
Matt,
aka depression.
Matt really likes sad movies.
Yes, he does.
I do. But in jet, like I don't know. Anyways,
Next week we get to see if Kelly likes sad movies.
I thought we were watching a porno.
Yeah, Midnight in Paris.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to our show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms for clips, updates, and opportunities to vote on a movie we watch. We'll have one at the end of this month and look forward to that. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys.
See ya.
Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.